Thank you, Deputy Speaker. It's been quite some time since my last MPI, the 15th of June, in fact. I've been let off the leash, so to say, but that is probably where the metaphor ends, because today the member for Ryan has afforded not only me but the handful of lucky members on this side of the chamber the opportunity to speak to the Albanese—
Sorry, Member for Spence, I'm taking a point of order from the member for Monash.
Deputy Speaker,
I think it is.
It pains me to say this, but understanding orders, if a member refuses to withdraw after being directed by the Deputy Speaker or the Speaker, they should be named.
I will be taking it up with the Speaker later. Thank you. Just 1 moment, please. Yep. Excuse me, I'll just call order to the whole House. This is a matter I will deal with personally later on, and I'm sure we'll have another discussion about it. Member for Griffith. Member for Monash, you're on your feet. Okay. Member for Spence, you have the call.
Okay. Thank you, Deputy Speaker. The opportunity to speak to the Albanese Labor government's record on climate and our environment in a holistic sense. Now, I can understand the tone of the member for Ryan's motion. I truly can. The impatience I see etched on every word, completely understandable. The member for Ryan, much like myself, have only just been elected to this place for the very first time during this 47th parliament, but we share some things in common. Prior to our election to this place, on the outside of the building as mere concerned citizens, the member for Ryan and myself have been waiting 9 long years for a government that will take climate seriously, a government that will stand up for Australia's beautiful natural environment, its flora and fauna, and a government that will do its part on the world stage. This is something I know the member believes earnestly. The member for Ryan and the Greens want earnest commitments to act. How could they not? After 9 years of Abbott, Turnbull and Morrison government, the dial on progress has swung so wildly in the opposite direction, I can understand why they are crying out for drastic improvements to the course of our nation, from the course our nation is travelling. Yet the member discounts quite a large number of moves in the right direction made by the Albanese Labor government, since Labor was given the privilege of being able to govern this great nation by its people a little over a year ago. I'll level with the member for Ryan. As a South Australian, I am truly horrified, but at the same time I am seldom surprised that over 9 years the Liberal National Party, at all levels along the Murray-Darling Basin, for the vast majority of that period of time, it isn't just coincidence now that the Basin Plan has ended up being an uphill battle to deliver. I do apologise for the elevation of my tone, but the Murray is the lifeblood of South Australia. This is why I understand the frustration shown by the member for Ryan and her colleagues. I am entirely certain they are aware of the environmental and climate record of the opposition. I'm sure they are entirely aware of the many attempts at convincing a domestic audience that they were fulfilling Australia's climate and environmental obligations on the world stage, but I reckon we all know better. I know that the Greens remember the leader of the opposition joking about water lapping at the doors of our friends in the Pacific Islands. It even brought about a very rare smile from the leader. And the contrast the Greens have to look to instead? It's a Prime Minister who, as one of his first acts in that high office, update our nationally determined contribution under the Paris Agreement. The contrast is a stark one, but I know for the member for Ryan and her comrades are abundantly aware of the history, the facts, the policies and the differences there too. They just want to see those in power do better, because I'm sure this isn't just an effort to put up a speech or two on social media in the hopes of gaining a few more subscribers or members to their branches. I'm sure those Greens members in this place discussed the room for improvement required by the opposition when they were sitting together in the chamber during divisions on Labor's Housing Australia Future Fund bill, or even during the Nature Repair Market bill for that matter. I'm proud to be part of a government that is bringing Australia back in line with where it should be on climate, without the rude shock that will cripple industry. Industries such as manufacturing before such a time as our advanced manufacturing and renewables sector can stand on its 2 feet again after being kneecapped by the opposition over 9 whole years in government. I thank the House.